Find out what's going on. Get involved. Change things from the inside. Make a difference. Take pride. Multicultural at its best. The Luisa Marshall Show. Coming up.
Today, all news simply the best. Get inspired. Part 2 of My Name Was January. It tells the true-to-life story of the most beloved member of SHER Vancouver. The late January Marie Lapus, who was born in the Philippines, later moved to Canada and was brutally murdered in her new Westminster home on September 30, 2012. Despite January's challenges and struggles as a transgender living in poverty, she made a lot of friends and became a shining star and true ambassador of SHER Vancouver. In the short 26-minute documentary, her friends and her mother, Betty Lapus, shared their grief, feelings, and fear.
Why is that? What tools are we not utilizing? How can we make it better within the community spaces?
Here's the continuation of My Name Was January. We are proud to say that My Name Was January has been screened in many countries such as Canada, USA, England, India, Norway, Spain, Cyprus, Taiwan, Lebanon, Philippines, and Russia. This documentary film won 13 awards. Award of Recognition: LGBT Best Shorts Competition, Best Documentary Short Film, Best LGBTQ Film, Best Documentary, Best Picture, Best Poster Art, Best LGBTQ Short, Best GLBT Short, Award of Exceptional Merit, Documentary Short Competition, Best Short Documentary, Best Foreign Short, Best LGBTQ Short. Here's the continuation of My Name Was January.
I was already in the bus. As I said, I was sitting next to a seat next to a window, and then she sat next to me. And then that's how the conversation started. So she was standing in this bus stop, and I instantly recognized that she's from the Philippines. Just her fashion style, her hairstyle, the way she was carrying her bag. Yeah, so I knew that she's from the Philippines, and instantly when she sat next to me, I introduced myself that my name is Ash and I'm from the Philippines, and that's how the conversation started.
Did she get excited?
She was very excited because there's very few Indians like me who lives in the Philippines, so she was very shocked that I speak Filipino or Tagalog, so yes.
She got a very nice leg, like nicer than my leg. Even when she's young, she's small boy. He is the skin is very nice. And you know that she's my just adopted son, right? You don't know? She's just my adopted, not my real son. That's why maybe the thing is, that's why she cannot move on because of her past life that happened. She know what happened to him. The mom sold him to me just for 1,000 peso. What is 1,000 peso? Not even $10. Convert to Philippine money? Yeah, not even $100. Every time we drive together in my car, I just tell her, can you sing my favorite song? She will sing. You know what's that song? No Matter What by Boyson. No Matter What. Have you heard that song?
No.
It's a nice song.
So yeah, we had, I think we joined the parade for about 4 or 5 times, and then after her passing, we stopped joining. You know, she has a big role during Pride parades, and especially in our float, because you know she used to host our float and made everybody excited, right? So a lot of people would come to and join the float because January was there. And yeah, so we won one time. We won the most diverse award. So that was great, and you know, a big part of it because of of January. So that's yeah.
She like the one who like kind of like riled up the crowd.
Absolutely. She would call everyone on everybody in the crowd and make silly jokes and made them laugh. So yeah.
We started to attract, we had a Bang Bang Bollywood night, a Bollywood night at one of the largest nightclubs in Vancouver. We took a big risk. We had it during Pride Week. We thought no one would show up because we didn't have that many members in our group to fill the place. We packed the place. Over 500 people showed up. And a big reason was January and Ash were on the streets, putting up posters, selling tickets, talking to their friends on the phone. She did that. She got the people out, and it was the amazing Bollywood night. There was straight people there was gay people there was drag queens there was transgender people there. And she made it come alive, and she made it happen. She could make these things happen. And she did this kind of stuff, right? And she was so grateful to, my mom treated her like a daughter. My mom said, she would come into my house and she would cook food for my mom, and she loved cooking. January loved cooking. She was a fabulous chef, and she could just scrap up a wonderful meal out of just nothing in the fridge. I don't know how she did it, and yeah.
Okay. So this was the plant that January gave me as a gift for my first house, and she was very happy and excited for me that I finally have my own place. So it just symbolizes many things for her. And if I recall, she said, I'm giving you this as a symbol of success. The first thing I do is I really made sure I would touch the plant, and it just gives me that sense of happiness that January is in my house, in my home.
January was an amazing friend. She had this vibrancy about her, and she was super funny and knew how to sing. I first met January during Pride, and I will never forget her emceeing skills. She always got the crowd just going, and everybody would just cheer. And there was just something about her that always just drew people toward her and gravitated toward her energy. And she looked amazing during Pride. She always wore the best, sexiest outfits during Pride. And yeah, I'll definitely miss her.
We love January! We love January!
I love January!
We're the Fun Police, and we love January.
We love January! We love January! We love January!
As a trans woman of color, as I mentioned before, I don't really see people who look like me in the world. A lot of when I want to see people look like me, I have to search on Facebook and, go into groups and, watch videos of other trans women of color there. For me, I find it to be very frustrating at times, and also it can be very empowering. A lot of what I say isn't really questioned, so that isn't a gift in itself. But when it comes to camaraderie and not feeling alone, those are issues that I personally find that can be improved. As I sit here, trans women of color, specifically Black trans women, have a 50% higher rate of HIV. And, those issues to me are so important. Why is it that women who look like me, who inhabit space like me, are at a higher risk or at a higher exposure of obtaining HIV? Why is that? What tools are we not utilizing? How can we make it better within the community spaces to allow for inclusivity?
We'll be back. Please don't go away.
500 people showed up. And a big reason was January and Ash were on the streets, putting up posters, selling tickets, talking to their friends on the phone. She did that. She was the social glue of our organization. She was the MC on our Pride Float, on our Bollywood dance nights. She was the person who brought everyone together and kind of smoothed over conflicts and had the group moving forward. And she never really took sides. She just was concerned about the bigger picture and what was in the best interest of the group in the long term. She was above these drama. There's also a scene in the documentary where, you know, her mother is talking about January, and she refers to as he and she and she and he, and she's kind of confused about her gender, which is very interesting. Because her own mother still hasn't really fully understood how January wanted to identify. But but then also she knew her as a male,
yes,
and then later as a female. So she was a little bit, it's interesting to see that real, authentic kind of feeling you had for your child, and as they're going through transition, right?
Yeah, the he and she of the mom. You know, I sometimes do that in our language.
Oh, really?
Yes. So when we say siya, it means she's either a girl or a boy or a guy or a man. She's either male or female. Up to now, my own daughters would correct me because sometimes, because I think, you know, when I think Filipino, sometimes in Tagalog, I get mixed up with my he and she, and sometimes that's kind of refreshing because it's like, who cares?
I didn't know that. I learned something today.
Yes.
That's such an advanced way of looking at gender, really, and such a much more accurate way of looking at gender, because most, as you know, gender is not just male and female. It's a spectrum of people who are non-binary and gender fluid, and people who don't identify as just male or female.
Yeah. Have you met January's mother?
Yes.
You did, eh?
I've met January's mother many times. She is a wonderful person. She's a courageous woman. She makes wonderful comments on my Facebook, and she took a lot of guts for her, Betty, to be in the film.
So how is she coping up?
Well, we have a scholarship in her name. The film has done really well, so we have created a new legacy for January. Because when January died, a lot of the media was saying, well, wasn't she in a high-risk lifestyle? Doesn't she deserve to die? Wasn't she a sex worker? And, it was almost as if the media was blaming her that she got stabbed multiple times. And so Betty, she couldn't really defend herself, and what was she supposed to say? And so, SHER Vancouver and myself, handled most of the media and stuff, but they still went off on this agenda almost, I felt, to bash her. And so one of the reasons we created the film and her award was so we can share with the world what she meant to us as our social coordinator.
Yeah.
She was a human being, and she was loved, and she was a friend that was taken from us. That's the story. And the funny thing is, a lot of people say, it doesn't seem like you have any agenda in the story, but it's so powerful, and it brings up so many themes and topics. Because a lot of time when we have discussions at colleges and universities, they're very rich discussions, and they think, wow, this all came from this 26-minute movie. But I tell the people, I said, I told the directors, I want you to share January's story as it's real, as it is authentic, and that's why we hired journalism students, 2 of the top journalism students at Kwantlen at the time. And that's what they did. They shared the facts of her case, they shared her story, and people walk away thinking about it over a few days and reflecting, and then they're like, okay, well, this is what I got from this film, and this is what's motivating me to do something different, or to think differently, or to behave differently. And it really did have an impact on me, on how I wanted to have an impact on me. We didn't kind of force any kind of agenda on the audience.
Yeah.
We just shared her story and let people walk away how they wanted to walk away.
Exactly.
Which is because we wanted to be true to her story, right? And let people think what they wanted to think. So it's kind of interesting how different people watch it and they walk away with different views.
Yeah.
But that's what they feel,
What's next for you guys?
So we have 2 things that are next. The first thing is we have a Youth Leadership Award in honor of January for youth between 16 and 30 who are doing great things in the LGBTQ community. You can be any gender identity, any sexual orientation. You can live anywhere. It's just a matter of you being between 16 and 30 and doing great work in the queer community. And we give cash prizes of $1,000 for first prize, $600, $400, and $200. And it's great to recognize young people doing great things. And the other thing is, because January was very much a leader within our group, so we wanted to give this Youth Leadership Award, as she was also very young. She was in her 20s when she passed away, right? And oftentimes a lot of queer youth who are doing this work is unrecognized. So now we're recognizing them. The other thing is we're starting SHER Vancouver is working on our second documentary, and the story focuses on a young man who was disowned by his family for being gay. He's a Punjabi Sikh boy who came and was studying in Vancouver as an international student, and his family disowned him when they found out he was gay. He was in limbo. And the story follows him in his journey, as well as, other queer South Asian people who are gay and lesbian and their coming out experiences. And one thing that makes this film unique, Luisa, is that it's not just about the story of the gay and lesbian child or the youth, it's also about the reactions of the parents. So you get to see the parents come on camera, and because for them it's also a journey of struggle and self-acceptance, and trying to figure out how they can make sense of what is happening to them and their family when a child comes out to them as gay or lesbian. So that's what makes this story very unique, and why it'll be a very important resource for our community and for any community.
We have to recognize these guys. They do a lot of work. It's not easy. It's not easy.
I went to a high school and I did a presentation. I said, how many of you know a queer person, a gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender person? And half the class put their hands up. And then I said, well, how many of you are friends with a gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender person? And one or two put their hands up. So my guidance and advice is, be a friend. Be a friend. If you know someone who is suffering, who is marginalized, who is at risk, you can save their life. So I want to be able to walk into a classroom in a few years, ask the same question, and everyone put up their hand.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations again, Alex,
you.
and more power
Thank you,
to
thank
all
you,
your
thank you,
SHER
thank you.
projects.
Welcome to Relive the Music, a brand new one-of-a-kind show that takes the audience through music history, trivia, and memories of the 50s and 60s.
We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock till all day. Lollipop, lollipop, oh, la, 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 la. I'm all shook up. Hey, 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 I'm all shook up.
Talk so much, but I can't. Don't catch fire, it's left. I'm desire, what's left to whisper. You take and leave, attracted high from sleep, claiming that
The January Marie Lapus Youth Leadership Award is an annual award given by SHER Vancouver to a deserving youth between 16 and 30 years of age that has done numerous service and volunteerism and dedication in the LGBTQ community, whether locally, nationally, or internationally. Our special thanks to Alex, Ash, SHER Vancouver, and to all those who love January. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Hope you enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Please don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Always be kind. Let's stop bullies. See you next week. Bye-bye.